for today's video, I kind of wanted to shake things up a little bit and do a different video. Majority of my videos have actually been around tutorials of how to start selling on Amazon FBA, how to list your product, etc, etc. For today's video, I kind of wanted to discuss one particular niche that I wanted to highlight to you that I believe would be a big opportunity that you should not miss, okay? Now, this particular niche, I want to kind of preface my comments beforehand because it can be quite controversial and you may completely disagree with me. However, please hear me out and please hear my reasoning behind it. And also on that point, I would really like for you guys to comment what your thoughts are at the end of the video. So, the way I came up across this niche is just starting to think about opportunities that have come about when COVID-19 hit. And I kind of started thinking to myself, now what if I was selling face masks or various other sorts of products that really did well during the COVID-19? There were specific niches that when COVID-19 hit in March, they did really well. Those categories were such as toys and games, because a lot of the kids have actually had to leave school and therefore had to stay at home, so parents had to buy them various games to keep them entertained. There were beauty products for women and men because all the beauty salons were closed, so therefore grooming kits were doing really well, and various other sorts of fitness related products as well, because gyms were also always closed as well, and they are still closed, so the sales on those particular niches did really well. Now as the lockdown is starting to ease and we are starting to see more and more shops opening up, more and more venues opening up, we are also starting to see those niches that did really well starting to kind of gradually go back down to their normal levels. However, on the opposite side of the spectrum, there have also been a few categories that did really poorly. And one of those categories I kind of wanted to speak to you about today. And that category is luggage, okay? The reason why it did really poorly because of COVID-19 is obvious. It's because it was completely shut down. We were not able to not only leave the country, but not only go to another city, and sometimes not even leave our home except for essential travel. Okay, now that the easing has started to happen and we are able to see our friends and family and potentially even travel to outside of the country, I don't know about you, but a lot of us have actually started to think about traveling and going on holiday. I don't know about you, but me and my girlfriend have really started to plan our holidays for the next few months. And I kind of thought to myself, if I'm doing it, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person. So what I wanted to do is just kind of look into the luggage niche itself and see how it's doing, and if it has any sort of potential to make some sales and to get some products in that particular niche over the next few months. And I came across something very interesting that I wanted to share with you. Okay, so let's have a look at one potential product that is very related to this particular niche, and that is luggage scales. Okay, so let me just bring this down completely. Now, luggage scales did absolutely poorly because of COVID-19 for very obvious reasons. However, if you actually click on Helium-10 extension, you will start to see that the niche is now starting to recover. So, as you can see here, sales figures are still looking really bad, and the average reviews are crazy, and a lot of you might think, oh my god, it's way too competitive and the total revenue is absolutely a joke to go into, and nobody would ever go into that. And that's precisely the reason why majority of the sellers will never go into this niche, because the revenue as it stands right at this moment is an absolute joke, and the average reviews is just way too high. But if you start looking into the actual sales, you will notice that a lot of them are starting to rise. And actually, I'm selling a few products in the luggage niche already. Now, in the previous few months, I sold about 10 items in a month alone. I mean, the sales went off a cliff completely. Now, over the last week, I managed to sell 25, and I'm starting to see the same sort of uptick in trend going forward. And I personally believe that as the lockdown continues to ease up, those sort of trends will continue to go up and up and up. So, which is why I think it is a perfect opportunity for you to look into this niche a little bit further. So as you can see, still the numbers are pretty poor, but it's starting to now slowly recover and slowly increase. Now, what also confirmed my sort of hypothesis, so to speak, is actually looking and just typing in luggage into Google Trends and kind of noticing if there's been any patterns at all. And if you actually see, luggage is actually quite a trendy sort of search term on Google, with it peaking pretty much around every sort of July and August time. Now, let's move that here. You can see that this year it has completely fallen off a cliff in the month of April and May, and now we're moving into July and June. Now, what do you think is going to happen in August when every single other year it was peaking around that time? I personally think that is going to go at least above to the bottom of every single other year, if not higher. Now, the sales figures that all of our sellers are seeing at the moment is right here. This is the last month's sales figures that we're seeing, which is why they are very, very terrible. However, if my theory is correct and it goes up to these levels, there is an opportunity for us to exploit that. There is definitely products out there that all of our sellers right now are not completely looking past because their revenue is just way too low, and their reviews are way too high. If you decide to go into the luggage, as mentioned, it's only my opinion, but I would strongly recommend you doing your own research first and thinking about as to, you know, is there any opportunity there? Is there potential for you to make money? I personally think there is. In the month of August and September, I believe holidays will start to increase as the company starts to ease up in lockdown. And I think if you are looking to potentially sell your first, your second, or your third products, or you only have a few products selling already, this might be a niche for you to potentially develop in the near future, as the sales should start to increase going forward, with competition still relatively being quite low. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the video, and don't forget to comment below as to your thoughts about this particular niche and anything else that you would like me to cover in my future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.